and welcome. Thank you for taking the time to watch this short video. In the next few minutes, I would like to introduce you to the central idea of my book. My hope is that it will spark your curiosity and encourage to read it yourself. There are many interpretations of Nietzsche's work. Yet the dominant reception of his idea, I believe, that a crucial dimension has been overlooked. Nietzsche's insight that modern humans have become alienated from the living earth. Already in 1882, long before the current ecological crisis became visible, Nietzsche gave a striking diagnosis of modernity. He wrote, "The earth has a skin, and this skin has diseases. One of these diseases is called the human being." And he followed his diagnosis with a powerful appeal, namely, remain faithful to the earth. In my book, I explore how Nietzsche devoted much of his life to develop this idea. For him, philosophy was never only a theoretical activity, it was also a personal experiment. An experiment in how to live himself. His philosophical reflection and his one way of life were deeply intertwined. Over the years, Nietzsche developed a new way to philosophize. He sought close contact with nature and discovered how his growing sensitivity to plants, animals, landscapes and seasons began to transform him. In the book, I follow Nietzsche in these experiments, and I show how he slowly came to realize that modern education and culture had alienated him from the vital life energy that is present in all living beings. This insight led him to a radical philosophical ambition. Nietzsche no longer placed the human being at the center. Instead, he placed life itself, that is, life on earth, at the center of philosophical reflections. Here he argued that we modern humans must rediscover what our place and role are within the living earth. Seen in this light, it is not surprising that Nietzsche became increasingly critical of the modern belief in human superiority and of the idea that the human being is the master and measure of all things. The first part of the book, therefore, offers a careful reconstruction of Nietzsche's earth-oriented philosophy, especially as it appears in his masterpiece Thus Spoke Zarathustra. My conclusion is that Nietzsche can be seen as one of the great first ecological philosophers of modernity. In the second part of the book, I explore how Nietzsche's ideas can inspire us today. At a time where ecological awareness often comes with fear and gloomy predictions, Nietzsche offers a different perspective, one that opens possibilities for hope, creativity, vitality, and joy of life. The earthly orientation he proposes is both pragmatic and aesthetic. It does not provide a blueprint by telling us exactly what we should do. Rather, Nietzsche invites us to imagine a new horizon, a new perspective that encourages us to rethink the relationship with the earth. For this reason, the second part of the book is written as an exploration. It offers building blocks to develop a renewed ecological philosophy. In chapter 4, I ask how Nietzsche's own existential commitment could inspire us today. I reflect on how I myself may reproduce alienating patterns of modern life and introduce the idea of living experimentally, as Nietzsche said, a way to live more authentically in our time. In chapter 5, I shift the focus from the individual to the local community and its relationship with the actual place on earth where they live. I discuss how fruitful Nietzsche's idea can be to think about local life today. Here I argue for a renewed appreciation of local communities and their connection to the land. And in the final chapter, I bring Nietzsche's reflection on the relationship between us and humanity, especially his much debated, controversial concept of the Übermensch, into dialogue with contemporary philosophers like Bruno Latour, Isabel Stengers, or Peter Sloterdijk. Let me conclude in a broader reflection. I think that Nietzsche can help us to see ourselves as transitional figures, people who live in times of profound change. From him we may learn how to imagine a future in which humans and nature no longer stands in opposition to one another, but strengthen each other in their vitality and resilience. This book is written for a broad audience and does not require prior philosophical knowledge. Its aim is simply to invite and help readers to reflect on fundamental question: how can we rediscover to remain faithful to the earth? I hope you will enjoy the book.